So I thought we'd chat a little bit before you guys play for us, just to kind of get a feel. And Dominic, are you going to sort of be spokesperson to start off with, or we're going to sort of rotate?
Yeah, we can rotate. We're all equals.
Well, I'll start with you then, Dominic. And people have different tastes when it comes to bands, and putting together a band can have a different combination of influences, whatnot. Talk a little bit about your background, why you got into playing music, and what is different about this band than some of the other stuff you've done.
The reason I got into playing music was just purely for feeling. I mean, the most genuine reason, I think. But other than that, why I think this combo works is because these guys are on that same wavelength. Yeah, I mean, whenever I play with Tim or David, I think there's a connection there. So the music, it gives it an extra elevation for that reason.
How would you describe the sound of what you guys are trying to do? So, people can lump it in a certain way, but how would you describe it?
Psychedelic indie rock, really. I mean, to sum it up, I mean, yeah.
We've got a combination of listeners, and some people, not to give away our demographics sometimes, some of our listeners are older. When they hear psychedelic, they might think 60s, they might think The Doors.
Right.
So how do you guys update it to make it a more modern sound? But do you have some of that influence in there as well?
Definitely. Like the amps we use, like I use vintage gear, so I love that gritty 60s sound. I mean, Velvet Underground, that type of thing. So, yeah. But to make it modern, I mean, just with all the modern music I listen to now, that influence comes in. So it's a blend.
Well, let's talk about some of the other influences, and maybe some bands folks haven't heard of. Maybe they need to start listening to them. Other than The Doors, Velvet Underground, what are some other ones? Some current ones, some other ones?
Current, I mean, I listen to Grizzly Bear a lot. I listen to Tame Impala. But past bands, I mean, we like bands like 13th Floor Elevators, Electric Prunes, like that 60s. The Pretty Things, yeah.
Okay. Tim, do you want to talk a little about your influences and what brought you with Dominic?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's funny how we all start through Craigslist, kind of. I think we're all out-of-towners originally, so starting here, I mean, we had similar influences, met through the musicians and stuff, and I mean, I listen to a lot of, being a drummer, I'm a hard-hitting drummer, I like Keith Moon, a lot of stuff the Flaming Lips do, their percussion and just the stuff it's really fun. But I mean, just all sorts of stuff, psychedelic rock, just kind of that primal feeling of keeping it simple, but going kind of crazy on the drums too.
Are you trying to bring a sound to Phoenix that maybe we haven't heard a lot of? Are you trying to bring influences from other places? Or are you starting to hear, yeah, there's some vibe here that we might want to get into a little bit?
I think, I mean, we all inevitably bring our stuff. I mean, being from Texas, I have a little bit of, I wouldn't say country, but just some of that kind of Texas twang. You have the 13th Floor Elevators, and so you have that, in a way, was influencing me growing up. So we all kind of bring it, but I don't think we're trying to change the sound or kind of get in the sound. I mean, what we've found in Phoenix so far is there's so much variety of what's going on, and there's pockets of certain genres and scenes and stuff, but I guess our idea is to kind of go past that and we just want to play the music we love to play, and we're not just, if we fit in, we fit in. If not, then we'll see where else we can fit in.
Dave, do you want to jump in?
No, I agree with all of that. I'd say that says pretty well.
Dominic, what kind of pressure is there, or is there any pressure? Is it self-imposed or not at all when you guys are in art like this? That you want to sound different from other people, or if you just sound really good, that's what you're satisfied with?
I think the pressure just comes from ourselves. Like, we're just competing with ourselves because we're the only ones doing this sound, whatever the music is, and whatever comes out of me is inherent to me. So I'm not concerned with outside influences or anything. So yeah, as long as we're all happy with it, we're a democracy. So I ask these guys, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And when we all come to a conclusion, then that's when I decide it's perfect and we can move on.
What sort of tone or rhythm are you going for? I mean, if you guys were to play 5 songs, is there a consistent sound that really stands out, that it is you guys, that people hear you enough? Or is there a feeling that because you've got so many different influences, and you've got so many different bands, you're interested in different styles, that it's okay for songs to sound completely different?
I think the consistent theme throughout any of our sets is just the energy. When we play a show, I want people to be nodding their heads at least, to at least move to our music, because I think it's upbeat and it's has positive energy, you know. It's not angry, but it's still very strong, I think.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, I think, like with drums, it ends up inevitably like a lot of surf kind of beats and stuff like that. I mean, there's just, that's coming from past music projects and those kind of things. It's kind of that holdover. We have some surf vibes in the drums at least, but then there's some heavier kind of jazzy things that go on sometimes. We'll get into some, some choruses of some songs it goes and it slows down, and we have swells and stuff that change from where we came from. You can go from a punk sort of feel to more open jazz free kind of stuff.
Now, you guys haven't been together that long, but have you already noticed some sort of evolution as you play together more?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Just like I said, there's a connection when we all play and we're all in sync with each other. It just elevates, and we'll just get lost in that world. You know, I love to create atmosphere. So in any show we play, I want people to just get lost in our world and take them for a ride. And with our sets, you know, we love transitions, so we'll go from song to song and not really stop at all, and just it doesn't give people time to really process it and stop until the end, really, to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's relatively early in the day, so I'm not asking for too much profundity at this point. But, as we talk a little bit about the psychedelic sound, could you define that? We're going to hear a little bit of it, of course, but based on just describing it, what does it sound like to you?
To me, psychedelic just means just taking left turns and or music that morphs, I guess. I guess I just see it as like not straightforward music, because it could be anything. Psychedelic could mean anything at this point in time with all the technology, and even electronic music can be psychedelic. But I think as long as it has that weird twist here and there, that's what makes it psychedelic.
There's some sort of like trance elements, not trance, but like going, and you kind of get hypnotized by it, and it just kind of goes, and you can kind of vamp on the instruments. We'll get something going, and you just kind of lose yourself in what's going on, and then snap you back into reality all of a sudden. And that's a lot of stuff I like. You get that, you start to float sort of, and then bring it back down to earth, and I don't know, continue like that.
All right. I'm Dominic.
Dave.
And I'm Tim.
And be your strange lot. Do upside down or punk?
Let's do punk.
Right.
Just do it. Good?
Lost inside. Oh, when nights are invaded, all alone while you hide. Oh, we found where you waited. Pick your picture. Pick your picture. Your picture, oh, your picture, try and dance slow, get your pants low, oh, I took your picture, come to store. Oh, take your picture, take your picture, take your picture. Oh, take your picture, try and dance slow. Did your parents know? Oh,
Okay, what was that about? Let's talk lyrics.
I don't know. Well, I mean, the way I write lyrics is a very stream of consciousness. So I like things to come naturally. I don't like to force it or think about it too much. So I'll just, with that one, and with every song, I just close my eyes and sing whatever images pop into my head, and it seems to have this overall mood / feeling. So with that one, I mean, the first lyrics are "People run lost inside," so it's just like a proclamation of how everyone's just not really sure where they're going, but yeah. And the chorus is "Took your picture, truth or fiction," but that's like getting a glimpse of someone of who they really are. That's because at the picture you can't really hide yourself.
So stream of consciousness, though, for you, there can be a real flow that comes together, a cohesive flow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are your lyrics influenced by how you feel in a certain day? If you're feeling a little more up, do you feel like maybe that's not a day I should write lyrics? What influences you when you want to write lyrics?
Influence, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I take influence from everything, like from everything from Bob Dylan to everything. But I mean, that's the beauty of stream of consciousness, is that you don't know where it's coming from. Your mind and your subconscious takes over, and you allow it to speak whatever you're feeling. And yeah, it can be whatever I'm feeling that day, but I'm not consciously aware of it and forcing it out.
When you wrote this one, do you remember where you were, what you were doing when it really started to flow?
I was just sitting there on the floor with a mic and in the studio and just close my eyes. I try to get in that trance mode like Tim talked about. So, yeah.
To me, again, I'm gonna sound like an old man, Sarah, but it had kind of a Kinks sound to me.
Oh, sure, yeah.
One, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tim, anything on that one?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be like all he said. It's very stream of consciousness, but definitely the feel of that kind of straightforward rock, kind of the '60s rock stuff. But it's
Kind of surf punk, I guess.
Surf punk, yeah. It's fun to play. It's more just kind of upbeat, easygoing. Just, I don't know. It's probably our shortest song, I would say.
Right.
As a non-musician myself, there was always the feeling of when people play the song. Is there a feeling of, do you get a stronger mood when you're playing a certain kind of song? Is it just that you guys have come together as a team, so you're excited about what you're playing? Because that one to me had a lot of different directions to go, but ultimately, even if the lyrics are a little bit different and you're not really sure the lyrics are upbeat or downbeat, the beat itself sort of kept things flowing. Like you want to stick with it. Can you aim to have all these complicated factors in one song?
Naturally, yes. I mean, it's about taking away what you don't need. That way you just have the basic elements, and that way you can just focus on certain things at a time, whether it's the vocals once or like their little fills here and there. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are there certain songs or types of music you like to listen to that are not always influential on the music you play? Is there a break you might want to take and say, hey, I want to listen to this for a while because I'm not in my creative mode?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot.
Yeah, being a drummer, most of the music I end up listening to doesn't have percussion. And I don't know if that's because I just find it hard to find really good drummers that I really appreciate, but a lot of ambient piano music and a lot of fingerstyle guitarists. Sean Fahey, and he introduced me to a guy named William Tyler, who's very cool fingerstyle guitarist. But I guess I like that because there's rhythm there, but it's not a drummer pounding away on a drum set.
Yeah, I like to listen to a lot of Tom Waits or even like 60s soul, Otis Redding, and so I want to hear something different. I'll put records on like that and just kind of look at what we do maybe from a different perspective, and it's good to be well-rounded, as a musician. So take things from different areas, and hey, maybe I'll try this out, and maybe it'll work, and maybe it won't. But you never know unless you try it. You'll never know unless you're open to other styles of music. So,
Mike, have you found at all that since you're writing lyrics, you're doing this or that there may be a time when you're just hanging out, you're not even thinking? It's probably hard to believe you're actually not thinking about the music at that point, and something flows for you. It's part of that stream of consciousness thing. Can you be in a situation where you feel like kind of taking a few hours off here, but then you're influenced by something, you really want to get down to it and create the music?
Oh yeah, mostly when I'm driving, I'll think about music a lot, and I'll be on my way to work, and I'm like, oh, I have a good idea, but I can't lay it down yet. So it's it's hard to recreate that feeling or even the initial idea, but you can hang on to it if you find it that good of an idea. So yeah.
What's next song you play for us?
We'll do Walk of the Sun.
Yeah.
All you lay on my lawn, there I found you there smiling. Don't you feel it too? Your back got so gray from the walk of the sun in the field. The field, I felt the tender stirring. I was there too. From the first day on your plane, on your way. I learned my lesson in the town. Felt alone with all my pains. Quicksand of truth, I'm split in two, cut by your dreamy hand. I put my face on, I felt the tender stirring. I was there too from the first day. On your place, on your way, on your way. Do-do-do. Whoa.
The name Strange Lot, what should we take from that? What does that mean?
I was just sitting at a counter eating food, and this group of teenage kids walked by, and I just thought, that's a strange lot. And it was a while back ago, and I was like, that would be a cool band name. Yeah.
And you guys were cool with that too?
Yeah, it's like it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of bands out there with strange in the name. I mean, I guess there's some, but I don't know, it's fun. It's a cool name. It's good, natural.
Tim, let's talk about your percussion sound a little bit. Is this because we're in a small space?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us more about that. Tell us more about what you do as far as what your style is.
Like I was saying earlier, kind of that surfy, rock, hard-hitting, kind of basic. I mean, as you can see here, this is a very simple setup, but I mean, I like to have at least, a very basic drum set, snare, kick, floor tom, a ride and a hi-hat is what I usually play on. It's just enough to get the sound out, but not too much to where I'll get distracted with other toms and other bells and whistles and stuff. But I guess I like some drummers, Greg Sonnier from Deerhoof, and like I said, Keith Moon, Josh Block from White Denim. They're all drummers who stay, except for Keith Moon, stay very simple on their kit, but they're able to do a whole lot. They get sounds out of it that don't just, you don't have to have all these other instruments and other pieces to make the sounds. You can get a whole lot out of very simple stuff. And that along with just hitting hard. I mean, for as long as I can remember, I've just hit hard, and people tell me I play loud. And I just like to do that. It's I want to do it because I want to play on a big stage, I guess.
With a 3-person band like this, can you guys cover all the sound spectrum you want to? Because it's been, there are different bands that have 4 and 5 guys, and you've got 3. How does that work for you?
I think it works great because Tim, I mean, to me, his style is also very tribal because he puts together lines of drums. It's not just a standard kick, snare, ride. So I love that, but also, I mean, I use effects on guitar to fill out that sound, and I mean, you have the bass, and that's the low end, so that covers it. So I think, yeah, we have a very nice, well-rounded sound.
So not to jump the gun too much, but as I said, you guys haven't been together that long.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What are the influences we can expect to hear from you as Strange Lot expands, again, evolves? I've used that word before. What are some goals you have? Not necessarily career goals, but in terms of where the music's going.
Well, we definitely just want to finish recording the songs that we have set-wise. But, you know, those songs, like Tim said, they range from some big blues songs to some easygoing jazz, ambient jazz to... But, you know, we use the same sounds all together, so it still sounds cohesive. It's not just jumping from genre or style to each one. But I'd say what to expect is just... I don't know, a nice journey. Yeah, getting better, I guess. Ultimately. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more shows, recording. I mean, we all have our dreams about where we want to go with this, I think, and I think that's what brings us to the same page, I think, is we all come from other acts and come from other things where, for whatever reason, it didn't seem to go somewhere, or we lost interest in it, and I think this is something we all want this to go somewhere. It's a good creative output for us, but we all think this is a really good thing. And I mean, for as short a time as we've been together, it was funny. The first practice we ever had, first time I had ever really met him, and we sat down and played the songs through. It was so
Immediately clicked.
It was nice. It was very cool.
Is there a certain sound we haven't had a chance to hear today that you're still working on? You're still working through, but it's one that the type of sound that, even as you mentioned some of the different influences, but that you really feel like you're almost onto it as far as what the sound is going to be?
Yeah, because I have been writing new songs, and I mean, I show them a little bit of them, but I'm ready to, because all these songs that we're playing now are ones that I actually recorded on my own when Tim and I were in another band. I just didn't have enough time to do anything with them. So they all feel like past, so I'm ready for the new stuff, and I feel like I know what the sound is going to be, but I can't jump the gun yet, so I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Having, because I mean, probably won't play it today, but one of the songs we play is the first time I've ever really contributed a whole lot to a song, where it's an idea I had, and then he took it and fleshed it out, and they made it into a full band song. So it's definitely a different kind of sound, but it goes really well. He's able to take it and make the lyrics into something that I wasn't able to do, and now it's cool to hear that when we played our show, and hey, there's a song that I had an idea for, and now it's right. It's out in the ether.
Let's do Upside Down.
Yeah.
Got me wrong again, unless I spoke to you upside down. I knew it was over for us, not for them. Knew it all along. This time I'm racing with the ocean. Said what I meant to you. It's all gone. I knew it was over for us, not for them. all alone. This time I'm racing with the ocean. Got me wrong. I said what I meant to you. Upside down. I knew it was over for us, not for them. Knew it all along. This time I'm racing with the ocean.
A couple more quick ones, I'll let you go. On stage, I mean, obviously we're seeing in a small space here. On stage, what's the persona of the band? Dominic, are you like you are right here, mellow into the music? You let yourself go a little bit? Tim, you too? How do you guys play on stage?
Yeah, live, I mean, we definitely let ourselves get into it more.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, when I'm singing, I have to maintain control, so I can't just be thrashing about. But I try to let myself just get into that same mode where when I recorded the songs, just to maintain that feeling. And
When you all kind of feed off the energy and I mean,
crowd, right?
off the crowd, and you're able to move, and you kind of you see the crowd moving, and you look at each other, and we're all getting into it, or you're getting down, and I mean, it's on this, but like as a drummer, when you're able to move your arms and stuff, you get this freedom, and all of a sudden you're getting more air, and you kind of get this high off of what you're doing, and you're totally into it, and you're in the zone totally, and you see a video of yourself and you think you look like a fool, but you're having fun at least.
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways. Like you feed off the energy of the crowd, but the crowd's going to feed off your energy as well. So you don't really want to be a robot up there, but at the same time, it helps when they're going crazy too. At parts that you know or you feel it, like they should be going crazy, and they kind of are. Or so it's a it's a back and forth thing. So definitely the crowds.
Last question for me, I don't know if Sarah's got something else, obviously we'll put that in as well. But Dominic, when it comes to the Phoenix music scene, what do you think of it? Are we a good spot for up and coming bands?
I think it depends on what the band itself is going for. I mean, if you want to make it in the Phoenix music scene, then more power to you, and I hope you know how to get there. But I mean, in terms of speaking with us, I want to be in the world music scene. I want to branch out. We all have bigger sights set on bigger goals. So, I mean, I love what different bands are doing in the Phoenix music scene, of course. But I'm more concerned with our band, just where we're gonna go, because everyone's doing something different and everyone's on their own path musically. So, it's not about competition, nothing like that. It's just a shared community. I love the community of our music scene. That's the one thing I think is really great for us.
Guys, anything on that?
No, he said it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's a cool music scene, but it's I think be part of the world, and I think that's what everyone wants to do. We all want to be part of the world music scene, and you kind of get in a pocket here. But I think there's a lot of people and a lot of good camaraderie with everything. And we're working with that.
Sarah, anything you want to?
No,
Okay.
it's great.
Hey, Dominic, Tim, Dave, thanks a lot.
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
It was a pleasure.